It got thrown away, eh? Yes, eh? Yes. Yes, eh? Yes.
So,
Validate
how
me.
about those Mets?
Less.
I hear they're really good this season.
The Mets?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't watch the sport.
Who are the
Oh,
Who are the Mets?
Meine God.
It sounds like you're speaking a foreign language.
Hmm.
Are you speaking foreign?
Foreignese? Maybe.
when your canine friend won't stop a wooing.
I don't know if I can't remember if I posted I got some really shitty pictures.
I don't know how many of you ever played Overwatch, or still do, but I love this gift so much.
Pretty great gif. Not many people know this, but Mercy's pistol is incredibly powerful.
It used to be, and then they nerfed it several times.
Yeah,
Now she's useless.
that was the great copy pasta back in the day. Back in my day. When Hanzo had a fucking shotgun arrow. Those were the days.
That killed.
Because it was so great to meme with.
In one hit. The one
Yeah.
most HP in the game.
Cobalt, we cannot hear you.
Oh, right. My mic's up here now. Sorry, I have to get used to that again.
Alright. I was literally just looking at the picture that I was gonna send. Oh, there it is.
No! With a G.
Gno.
No. Creature tries to remember what it once was. I love it.
I like how the creature is capitalized.
See, I don't remember how many of these ones way far down that I've sent already. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Oh god.
It scares me.
Oh, fuck.
Which one are you, Dova?
The guy on fire, probably. Because I'm in the middle of cleaning up.
I don't know. I think
I'm like halfway through cleaning up because I expected to be done early.
I don't know. I think I'm the guy left of SpongeBob, or right of SpongeBob. I'm a little more disgusted when it happened.
I would say
Guys,
I'm
maybe
Mrs.
go post those in another channel, you know, like Media Sherry, where I told you to post them.
Oh, okay.
Alright, time to...
So
Now
the
that we have-
viewers have an idea what the
Now that we
fuck
have-
you're
Let's
talking
go.
about.
Now that we have permission.
You've had permission.
You've
said
opened
media
the
sharing?
door.
I
There we
gave you permission months ago. Meanwhile, you're just sitting here talking about memes, and everybody on voice or on the stream has no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, please tell me I didn't do what I just did.
What'd you just do?
I was just typing a bunch of stuff up, and I think I just deleted it.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh, shit. I found the undo button. All is good, guys.
Yeah,
We're good.
Control Z is just instinctual for me.
Alright, cool.
You know, I'm gonna.
Oh, whoops. That was almost bad.
That's an obscure GIF. Or an obscure meme. I apologize if you don't understand.
My WordPad doesn't have spell checks on it. It's like the very basic one. So when I post it, I see how bad my spelling is.
Mhm.
Let's just say my spelling's so bad, if it was damaged, I'd be dead now.
There we go.
Boy,
I've never-
this is a saxophone solo. Oh
I've
my
never-
lord.
I've now given media sharing a very small fraction of the goodness I have to give.
It's just a wall of pictures.
I mean, now the chat knows exactly what we've been laughing at this past few
Yeah.
minutes. That's not even all the ones I sent this session.
I cannot find the one that I sent earlier. Where is it? I know I should probably be focusing on other things, but this is what I'm focusing on right now. Mhm. It's a really great one.
Hello?
Well, hi.
Hello?
Hey, whoa.
Somebody said
Hello, everyone, and
Whoa, hey,
welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. I will now turn it over to Discount Mickey.
Well,
He's not here right now,
Yeah,
Zim.
he's at rehab.
No,
I take-
that's
can I take
regular
a message?
Mickey.
Finally got busted for his rampant cocaine use. So
No, that's regular
Sorry to
Mickey.
break your
Discount Mickey is played by the stylings of Zerth.
Oh God.
Come
All right, that's enough of that.
All right, come on. You gotta give us a
Alright, thanks,
recap.
Mickey.
I'm about to.
Alright, I'm about
to
to
use
head
the
out.
same sort of like rationality that that Nixon used when Vietnam happened. I'm gonna stop the spread of that right now. That's a history jizz.
I'm about to head out.
I'm about-
That's too smart for me, Nova.
All right,
All right,
anyways.
Zerth, just give us our Discount Mickey recap.
Oh God. I how about I just do it and we avoid.
No, it's more fun with Discount Mickey. Besides, we are contractually
Some people would
obligated
disagree with
by
that.
our viewers to do so.
I think we should have a vote.
Alright, viewers, let's vote. Who hates the Mickey voice and who thinks the Mickey voice should never be spoken again?
Oh wait, there's a long delay.
Well,
It'll be a long time before we get an answer.
while we're waiting for an answer, Zerth, go ahead.
Just okay, yeah. Put the gator on the spot.
Well, we got to vote for yeah
Oh,
to
fuck.
have it.
Quick, Zerth, he didn't say in the Mickey
Power
voice this
Stone
time.
said
Exploit that
Mickey is
loophole.
cool,
Just say it,
okay?
yep.
He didn't
Exploit the
say-
loophole.
Come on,
he
come
didn't
on,
say Mickey voice
Zerth.
this time.
Discount Mickey, let's go.
Nope, you said just Zerth do the recap this time, and then he's gonna do it with that one.
Last time on this game, we
How
find our
is that
fellow
a Discount
adventurer-
Mickey?
This is Discount Mickey. What?
It's Discount Mickey.
Look, man, you
Yeah.
get what you paid for. You didn't pay
Exactly.
much for this.
See? It's unacceptable. The viewers have spoken.
Hey Zim,
I don't
how do
know
I
if I-
kick? How do I kick viewers?
Anyway, last time we got unloaded on the ship of the undead people who came and saved us, and then we just kind of spent time in a rundown town and more or less found out that we were gone for like 2+ months because the Mornland sucks.
Yeah. More lands do suck.
Didn't even get a T-shirt.
Not T-shirt.
Sad.
They ran out. Sorry to say.
I'm gonna go back there and speak to their manager.
Mm.
Last time you ever see Earth again. I think that was it. I don't know if I missed any main parts.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sinnoh did end up getting DeSoto back after a quite brutal fight with a group of what looked to be face spirits, calling themselves the Council.
Oh, yeah.
And at the moment, the party is mostly back to normal, aside from Blue still remaining dead.
Don't remind me.
It'll eventually come back, maybe. Depends.
Possibly.
Possibly. Perhaps.
If I roll, okay. If I roll 2 nat 20s right now, will he come back?
No.
Yeah, well, he's gone forever.
Yep. Well, that's unfortunate, but that's kind of how life is.
How strong of an ethereal influence do we need for viewer to vaporize the Mournlands?
That's gonna be. I mean, that's gonna raise a whole lot of issues, and probably a very long time delay as I try to figure out exactly what the hell would happen.
And so much paperwork.
Yeah, that's a lot of paperwork.
Well, you
like
see, there's so
Relocation
much.
for everything inside the Mournlands to somewhere out of the Mournlands, which, by the way, you're like right outside the Mournlands, so you're kind of in the middle of that.
No. The magic just becomes so unstable in there that it just, collapses on itself.
It is unstable. It brought back a dead member, and then I had to re-kill it.
Don't remind
I
me.
mean, it's a good song.
Thank you.
Anyways,
I definitely like it.
we can we'll probably pick back up as you guys are currently resting in the inn in the small town of Rustport. The town, of course, is mostly empty, as many of the
Residents?
many of the residents you get from the tavern keeper have been drafted by roving Brellish detachments in what is a what seems to be a continuation of the last war. The tensions that had kind of simmered over the past 7 or so years have finally boiled over. But you guys are still missing a lot of information about this whole deal. As you guys spend, it's a fight for the chair 2.0. Kinda. But again, you guys really don't have all the information that you need to get an idea, I guess.
Missing any amount of time when there's a lot of
Changes?
changes can put you on the back burner real quick.
Oh yeah.
How side question, how long were we in there or felt like we were in there compared to how long we were actually in there?
You were in for, I believe, 4 or 5 days, maybe 6. And when you came out, you were about 2 months ahead.
Okay. I can only imagine what a year is. They probably still haven't come out yet. It's not their time yet.
Mm-hmm. Quite a while, you'd imagine.
I don't remember. I, as a player, Zerth would, because he's way smarter than I am. Do we remember why the town is so vacant?
Well, it used to be a staging point for the Brellish and the Brellish military as it marched through to the front lines, which were basically where the Mournlands begin. The fogs, the magical fog of the Mournlands actually just sidled up right next to the front line, on the Siren side.
Gotcha.
So the front lines at the time of the morning are basically just frozen in time.
Awesome.
Mhm.
And we're all in the tavern right now.
Yep, you're in the inn. The only inhabitants of which are the tavern keeper and the strange man who lives in a very barricaded room. I believe his name is Rain.
Yes, very, very strange man.
Hmm.
We
But he
should
gave you a
kill
lot
him.
of money for gemstones and mushrooms.
Could we, I was curious about this as well. Kraden wants to know, are the Mournlands moving or getting...
That's a great question.
I,
People have periodically conducted surveys. You know of that fact. But there's no real big news about whether the Mournlands are getting bigger or smaller.
It's just like a
It
solid
sounded
wall
to
of
me
just
like-
white fog.
it sounded to me like you were describing that they were getting bigger.
No.
Okay.
The front lines during the last war. I believe it was 992K, or I believe it was. I need to check the timeline again. But it was about 10 years ago that the war ended. For the first time, at least.
The 100-Year War.
The last war, yeah.
The chair. That's what it was.
Actually, it only ended about 2 years ago. Never mind. But 994 is when the morning struck, and that was so only 4 years ago. Then 4 years ago, basically where the front lines were is where the mists begin.
Gotcha. Zer's just gonna look at the group and go, so what's our next plan of action?
Okay, dude, you have seriously got to stop trying to have a deep voice.
It's what he would do!
He would have a little kid's deep voice.
I think his deep voice is fine.
Yeah. I think it's the effort that counts.
Tries a lot more than I do. Honestly.
Okay.
There you
Okay.
go.
Well, we've got to go turn in these spell shards at wherever the hell it was. I'm sure Sinnoh would
right?
remember.
Sharn.
I'm sure
that was one
Sinnoh
of
would
these-
remember, but me, myself, I don't.
Yep. Sinnoh would know that that someone will pay for them in Sharn. Particularly, someone involved with the University of Morgrave. Or sorry, Morgrave University. And Sharn, of course, is the city of towers, a metropolis, a sparkling metropolis, which most of you have only heard of. I believe Yark's actually been there a few times.
Yeah.
And you would know its breathtaking, ginormity.
Oh
Uh-oh.
god. All right, guys. Great stream. Glad we had so much fun.
Oh, Mickey has escaped rehab. Ah, fuck.
Discount Mickey can go.
Got
back
a lot of progress
rest.
today. Zim rolled that outro.
Oh,
Yep.
I was trying to do Dusty.
we're-
That's
we're
my
not-
bad.
We're not done yet.
That's the joke.
Cool.
Alright, so welcome, Anu.
Yeah, how are you?
Hi.
You feeling all right? You feeling great?
Yeah.
You sound like it.
What's up?
You sound like you just woke up.
Yeah, you sound like you're having a great time.
That's exactly what happened.
Damn, I'm good.
Just like crit your investigation.
Mhm.
Oh God. Anyways, we have just started, Inun, and we're the party's just discussing what to do next.
Sharn is on like the eastern coast, isn't it?
Western coast.
Western coast. Right. Good.
We can.
I got my
You get to east and west. You got that figured out.
I got my east and west mixed up, but I knew what I meant.
Yep.
That's what's important.
We've got Zerth and Inun in the map already. I can open up the map for the rest of you. Sharding. Shard.
Noon is definitely going to be 4, heading towards Sharn because it's such a wooded area. Feels much more at home there.
How versed with civilization are you, Inun?
He's been out for a few years, but he spent most of his life in the grove
Here's
of guardian
to
trees.
New beginnings.
And in the Eldine reaches.
I'll say that you really don't know much about Sharn, about what it is. You've seen
okay.
it on a map. As you guys are kind of looking over the
That's essentially
kinda-
what he's going off of. Is he just
he sees
because
the
since he's well versed with cartography, he's able to read that it's pretty wooded, and so he's kind of happy to see that.
all right.
And that's essentially all he's going off of. He has no idea what the population is like, or if that map is actually accurate. He just wants to be back in the forest.
Fair enough.
Since it sounds like we want to leave,
Something about this music. Hold on.
Zerf would just go. Well, since we're in agreement, let's find a way to get there. And probably learn what's going on since we've been gone for longer than we thought.
Yeah, I'd say we get going, collect our bounty, and see where we go from there.
We can head back to. We can head back to Vatheron or Hathril or Starlasker, and I can try to find a more accurate map. Maybe get some information on what's going on over there while we're collecting our bounty and such.
Alright,
Maybe
cool.
shop.
Do we have?
Well, we could go to Star Alaska anyway. That's a junction, and we can take that all the way down to Wart, whatever. And then that will be the next town, and then it will go straight down to Sharn.
What town are we at right now?
You're currently in the small kind of scavenger town of Rustport.
Yeah, we're in the border town. It's not on the map.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What
But
town
according
is closest
to
this one?
sorry,
What town is closest to this one?
that'd be Vatheron. That's about in fair weather with the plowed roads. It would be about a full day's travel, but now that it's snowy and you don't reckon that anybody's been along to clear the road of snow, you reckon it'll take at least twice that long.
Are the rail lines still going? Like, I think I remember something about last time. It seemed like they were not in use. The one we saw.
There is a small platform here, but over the 2 nights that you've been staying here, you haven't heard or seen any trains arriving. So the tiny little spur coming out to Rustport likely isn't going right now.
Is it normally active?
Do you go out and try to check the pylons?
I don't think Zerth would be that savvy to fully understand to go check those pylons.
I can go check.
I mean, he was fascinated by the train the first time, so I don't think that majesty's still riding high on him.
I'll go check to see if the things are still running.
All right.
And in the snow, I'll hold my big metal heating glove,
Just to keep your hands warm.
or various parts, whatever gets cold at the time.
All right.
It's rather large.
As you trek through the snow, it's about 4:00 in the evening now, as the sun's getting fairly low on the horizon. But there's really no clouds in the sky, which is a very welcome sight. And you can see, even with the sunlight, there's from this vantage point about 4 of Eberron's moons in the sky at this time. And they're fairly faint since it is still sunlight. Making your way out to the tiny little train stop, basically just an elevated platform, a little pavilion with a long abandoned ticket booth, with the insides just completely stripped out. There's no sign of the pylons in the deep snow. Do you go to root it around inside the snow, or are you just looking from the platform?
I'm just looking from the platform, I guess.
Word about community's acclaim spreads.
I guess I could actually use some cautious firebolts to try to melt some of the snow to see if it's still glowing or active.
All right.
Anoon will use Foxfire and
Anoon, why don't you get here?
aim. What?
Tales of
I don't know,
our
you're coming
endeavors
with me.
proliferate.
But that works.
I thought we were all walking together. Anyways, yeah, I'll just use 3 of the beams and try to melt the snow.
All right.
We are
You
going together?
experimentally kind of melt some of the snow in places where you think one of the markers might be.
Let me can you read this?
I can, yes.
Because this is species cantrip.
All right.
The new thing. It's kind of like a weak scorching ray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figured it didn't make sense for the bosses not to have any natural weapons, so that is just the Kitsune's version of them.
Yeah, like as a kitsune, I don't have claws or bite. I have this.
As you experimentally fling some magical fire, both of you, into the snow, go ahead and roll a d4 for me, one of you guys.
Oh.
Inun, one of your
Yes.
one of your tiny little green motes of fire plunges into the snow with a kind of a faint sizzling noise and strikes something, and almost like the sound of a like a crystal glass vibrating if you tap it, like that kind of ringing noise, very muffled, comes out. Before a moment later, go Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
I'm just imagining that this thing of fire is actually like an illusory fox, and it does its little dive into the snow and then explosion.
Oh my god, I actually have a relevant picture.
As the tiny little illusory fox comes tumbling back out directly at you at full force, you're barely able to dive out of the way into the snow, as it streaks over your shoulder through the open space of the train platform and kind of into an open space, what looks to be one of the roads nearby, and just disappears. But it seems that you hit one of the anchor stones. And go ahead and give me an Arcana check, either one of you.
Can we help each other?
Yeah. So one of you with advantage.
I'm at +7, so
It is Artifice, so
I'm just saying.
+6, so you guess you roll. And we're both working on it, so doesn't matter who rolls. Just anyone can roll with advantage.
So, hopping down off the platform into the deep snow, you kind of shovel some of it around before you eventually come across the anchor stone itself, the roughly 2 foot by 2 foot base, milky crystal pyramid, which is still hot to the touch, and is faintly humming. But investigating it using your perceptive abilities and just deduction and arcane reasoning, you eventually kind of determine that this is probably something meant to absorb and then reflect the magic emitted by the bottom of the carriage. Basically, all that lightning energy being shot down and then reflected back upwards to keep it upright and off the ground. But it still seems to be functioning all right. There's no way to tell if anything's used it in the past. Well, it's really just hard to determine at all.
Yorick, an artificer, you know to work with machines. You think you can fix up that switching booth and try to recall a train or something?
I take out a hammer out of my backpack, and several tiny hammers come out of a little wrist gauntlet. I can try, and I'm gonna see if I can see if it's busted. I can try to fix it.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check with. Are you helping, Inun?
Sure, yeah.
Would you like me to roll my like one of my tools or something, or just Arcana?
Just Arcana, no advantage or disadvantage.
Okay.
So, inside the booth, there's a handful of what look to be some sort of communication device. And your dragon mark. Do you actually have the dragon mark, or?
The what?
Okay, never mind. It seems that the equipment in here does require somebody from House Civis to interact with it. Basically. Sorry.
Didn't we go over this like a few weeks in? That since he was in since he did belong to a house, he was the only one of us that had a mark.
No. It needs a specific mark.
Mm-hmm.
House Civis.
House Civis is let me.
Is it like transportation?
House Civis, I believe that's so mark of scribing. So basically, long distance messaging. But you try as you might, you can't really get anything cobbled together that'll mimic that. And forging that sort of permissions is notoriously difficult to do.
And probably illegal.
And probably very illegal.
Now, is this clearly the thing that's supposed to like contact the mainland, the main station or whatever?
You believe so.
Hmm. I guess I had a train operator that lived here that just doesn't anymore.
Hmm.
I'll definitely go and ask the tavern keeper when we get back. I'll also ask if he's seen the train move when he saw the train moving last,
All right.
and I'll start heading back. Was it only a Noon who came with me?
I believe so. Either way, you guys managed to get back in about 10 minutes of trudging through the snow. It's not currently snowing right now, but a few little gusts of wind whip up a bit of the snowfall on the top layer.
I wake.
Well, hey, Dusty.
Why is there snow? What happened?
It snowed.
I can accept this.
We're going to go back to Sharn to cache the stuff that we got in. That's the plan, anyway.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Dusty.
Yes.
I bet I can build a snow kobold faster than you can build a snow bat.
You are unbelievably on.
And then I go do that.
All right, so both of you go ahead and give me dexterity checks.
Sure,
Oh,
let me
wait.
get into fancy grounds real fast.
Hold on a moment. Okay.
Those two are Anun and Yark.
Oh, jeez.
Yark and Dusty, as they're
Okay.
making snow things.
Okay.
Am I connecting?
It says you're connected.
Ah. I guess I'll wait then.
Dova, could you just, or would you be able to roll for Dusty?
Yeah. Well, we're waiting. All right. That would just be dexterity. There you are. All right. As you guys tumble out the door into the snow-filled streets outside, you rapidly get to work on making a snow version of yourself. Yark, even with using your little your heating plate to create bits of ice, it really just doesn't hold up to Dusty's pure skill with just working with his hands.
Oh, that's right. We can't see your rolls.
Yeah, he rolled a 16.
I can't. These
Sorry.
gauntlets just aren't dexterous enough.
Mhm.
And if I take them
Mine
off,
hands are dexterous.
and if I take them off, then that's bad.
And your hands get really, really, really cold.
My hands stop moving.
After about 20 minutes, Dusty, you are you have just completed your quite passable snow bat. It was really hard to get the wings right, so you just kind of detailed them as being like on the main body. You used, or actually no, you would have probably used a bunch of sticks just to kind of look like wings.
Large, branchy sticks.
Big branchy sticks. Which was fairly easy for you to get, as you could basically fly over to the forest, break off whatever limbs you needed from the tops of the trees, and get back here fairly quick.
I feel as though I might have a inane disadvantage here.
I mean, you did do quite well on like the texture and color, since you were able to grab little dustings of a very red, very fine spice from your spice pack.
Dusty will then proceed to do an entire posing routine next to his snowbat.
Under that added pressure, you finish your snow kobold in 5 more minutes.
I'm gonna very carefully slide mine over closer to Dusty, and also all 4 of us can pose together with him.
Posing against ourselves. Yes. This is a season. This is.
Oh, Dova, I forgot to ask. Does this world have a Christmas or something like it?
The holidays themselves are a little bit
Probably a solstice.
they're a little bit different. I know for a fact that there is like a table in Fantasy Grounds, but I'm just gonna pull up the holidays themselves.
I hear Dova's papers rustling.
They're not
I
fumbling.
type. What's the current month? There is there is a roughly 3-day holiday at the end of this month, Volt. Basically, it's not really celebrates, but it kind of remembers and
Observes.
kind of the shadow, which is one of the Dark Six, one of the evil leaning deities.
Do we still get presents?
Not really. I'm reading up on the.
So we're not going to kill a Santa Lich this year.
Maybe we'll find out when Christmas actually comes.
So it's called Christmas.
No.
Old Saint Lich.
It's I like it.
And you guys remind me of a group of kobolds that shot me down once. Look, there's one right now.
You motherfuckers.
He's back! I'll kill him this time!
He sees Yark and just has some severe PTSD.
Of his soul almost getting stolen.
It's
Actually-
just Huey's in the background.
Oh no.
Well, technically, Yark, you'd be the only one to know this, but in 2 days would be the Tain Gala for the month of Volt in Sharn.
Those are some
Basically,
words.
the first far of every month, far the day of the week,
Mhm.
similar to Friday. There's a enormous amount of various feasts, galas, balls that happen in the upper, more affluent levels of Sharn. Many of the wealthy towers will have just these huge festivals, either to show off their wealth or to strengthen relationships or something like that. One of your assignments to the city was actually to help cater to one of those balls.
Nice. That's awesome. I like having this dragon house because it makes me feel so connected to the world already.
Mhm.
All right,
But
cool.
as far as holidays go in Vault, that's really all that goes.
And how far How far did we think the trip was going to be?
To Vatheron, 2 days. To
Oh.
Sharn, as I pull up my my lightning rail lines table. Let me see. The Sharn to Vatheron line. From Vatheron to Sharn, that is a journey of 1,463 miles. Timetables.
Oh, are we going back all the way back to that merchant?
That would take around 2 days. But that's from Vatheron.
It takes 2 days to get to Vatheron.
Yep.
Oh, we're gonna miss the bank. We're gonna miss the. I forget what the date is called again.
The Tane Gala.
We're gonna miss the Tangala. The Tangela? Tangela?
I was just about to say Tangela.
I mean, there is the Rebirth Eve on the 14th of the next month. You basically stay up all night to watch Winter Pass. It's a pretty good holiday.
So if one of us die that night, are we just gonna come back?
Well, I mean, you got a full month.
Plan our death.
Heck yeah.
Well, I mean, anything that comes against me, well, humanoids that come against me will have rebirth.
There you go.
In a way.
Just not the way that they want. I mean, once they're rebirth, they will have no more wants.
Or needs, or desires, or personalities.
Just, or it was Gaster. Gaster the skeleton.
The next one, what are you going to name the next one?
Oh, I have plans for the next one.
All right, we'll find out when it happens.
Yep. And now I can raise 2 at once, so that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
If only could raise 1 at once.
Since I'm a necromancer at 6th level, I get a feat that lets me raise 2 at the same time. Its hit point maximum is increased by my wizard level, and its proficiency, it gets my proficiency bonus on its damage rolls.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now you just need a corpse. Or 2.
I just need a bag of holding that I can keep an entire skeleton in. It's gonna be my bag of bones.
All right. So, night is rapidly falling. It's about 6 o'clock. As the sun dips below the horizon. The city is completely dark. The 2 little snow people outside just solemnly stand as the lights from the tavern spill out onto the sparsely treaded upon snow.
I guess we should probably get going.
Sounds good.
Oh, I have a question. I was asking the barkeeper the questions.
All right.
Like if the train was still running, and if so, when was the last time he's seen it?
I don't think the train has run here for about 2 months now. When you passed through last, I think that was one of the last days it was still running. I remember hearing when the conscription was happening that a lot of the assets like that were being held by the military for mobilization.
I don't suppose you know how to hail a carriage.
None really come down this way very often. Really, my plans are just to stay here for the winter and consider moving to one of the larger cities whenever things warm back up.
Studying the map, Anun's gonna ask if there's any kind of ferry down the Bray River.
Well, the river itself should still be liquid. But I don't know. I think there may be one running into, I think, Sayar, but that's across the border with Thrain, and I don't think things are going to be very pleasant there.
Hmm. So it looks like we're walking then. Zerf would look towards the tavern owner and go, "You wouldn't happen to know if there's any carts with horses around still in town, do you?"
Horses, probably not. But there
Yes.
may be a few carts left. I know that a lot of equipment like that was taken, but you might be able to find one. In the heavy snow, I don't think they'll do very good though.
Hmm.
Especially when you don't quite know where the road is. It's very easy to go off.
True.
You have that infinite like spice pouch, right?
Yes, near infinite. Oh, Dova, how
Just-
many pinches did I use for the snowbold?
2.
Okay.
It was very fine pigment, so you're able to go very sparse on it.
Nice.
You can just reach in there a couple like tens of thousands of times and just throw out salt.
10 times a day.
I have fire cantrips, but I'm gonna get real tired.
I will eat it.
Oh, do we know the tavern keeper's name, or have I just been calling you Mr. Tavern Keeper this whole time?
Of course we do. We've had some pretty
Yes.
deep conversations with him.
I don't think you've really asked for his name.
Hey, Mr.
It's
We asked
Bile.
him the first time.
Sorry, what was it?
Bile.
Bile. Might you have any warm clothes we could borrow for the trip?
None that I'm really willing to spare, but I'm sure that there ought to still be plenty in some of these houses.
Oh,
I was
okay.
about to say we can probably.
By the way,
Oops.
are there any
That we're in this
supplies
situation.
Are there any supplies you've been running low over, having trouble getting?
We went over this
Then-
last session. We got him all firewood.
Oh, okay. I'm just like, have you been getting? Do you have a source of fresh water? I don't know how hard that is to come by in the winter in here.
Water isn't so hard. With the fire you've provided, I can boil or I can melt and boil plenty of snow. In addition, we also have the 2 large barrels of ale and wine downstairs. Not the best drinking solution, but I'm fine as far as water goes. What I am lacking though is salt.
Oh, you said you can boil stuff, right?
Yes.
He unties the alchemy jug from his back and says, "I can give you up to 12 gallons of salt water."
From
What's
that,
salt water good for?
Yeah, nods vigorously.
Getting the salt from it.
all right.
Extracting the water.
I suppose I have a few stock pots, and as he goes to grab some rather large-looking cauldrons.
I'd start pouring, unpop a cork loudly and start pouring salt water into it
All
as
right,
much as he wants.
He just kind of raises his eyebrows in surprise as the tiny little jug that you're carrying basically disgorges at least 2 barrels worth. Actually, no, not 2 barrels, but 2 large cauldrons worth of water into them.
Yeah,
Two very small barrels worth.
Very yeah.
Those like those 5-gallon whiskey casks.
He says, I don't know how much. I've never boiled salt water before, surprisingly. But I don't know how much salt you get from it, but I hope you get some.
Well, I mean, I never have either, but I'm sure I can figure it out.
Right? And when
Thank
it's done,
you.
I strap it to my back. Thank you. You have provided us with a warm bed to sleep in.
Well, I suppose I could help you one final. Oh, why not? I have a handful of military rations. That should keep you going for the trip to Vatharond.
That's so nice of you.
Is there no train anymore? Is there no train?
No train.
Oh,
I haven't
that
seen
thing was
one in.
expensive, and we got in trouble a lot.
Yeah.
Will these military? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say we've been out of food for a while, so I'm glad. So it helps a lot.
And then
I'm
Zerf
berry now.
would piggyback on that. This won't deplete your own stocks, will it?
Not really. I have a decent amount left over to keep me going until the spring. There's 5 of you plus the dog.
Dog was
I suppose I could spare a few of them.
Much
I mean,
appreciated.
as he lifts up a hatch to go into the cellar.
Did the absurd amount of rations disappear completely from Yark?
Yes.
Pretty much.
I am empty.
Make sure that you guys have marked down that you have 0 rations left.
Oh yeah, I am.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, right. No rations.
But we don't have to worry about that later. Because I got a spell victory that I forgot about.
Oh, did you prepare it?
Good berry.
It's
And it's
prepared. It's create food and water.
The best quality of life spell, right behind Leomund's tiny hut.
You're forgetting about Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion.
Okay, the
That's even better.
the best obtainable spell, Dova.
Fair enough.
We'll get the magnificent mansion if it doesn't cost us what is it, 7th level spell slot?
Is it gonna be possessed again?
No, we'll use the magnificent mansion if the campaign is still going by then.
Yeah. If it's given to us.
So I know my water skin full of milk was completely not good.
Yeah.
Water skin full of cheese.
Questionable quality cheese.
Cottage cheese, blue cheese.
God, I hope that's blue cheese. What about the water? Is that still fine? Or should I empty that out first?
I believe you guys actually used up all of your water.
Okay, cool.
You can just refill it from the jug, I believe.
I'll do that.
He emerges a little while afterwards, carrying a canvas sack full of small, roughly brick-sized objects. He kind of plops it down on the counter and kind of unrolls the top of it. As you guys lay eyes upon what look like kind of pale green bricks. As he says, I managed to get quite a lot off of a trader who came in from Karnath. And I've actually had a few of them. They're quite good. But don't remove the coverings before you're actually ready to eat them, because they do spoil somewhat fast.
Great, and right now we're trying to turn in the army mages spell shards and then head to Sharn.
Yeah, but we're heading to Sharn to do that.
Turn them in.
Otherwise, I mean, we don't have an overarching goal for the campaign yet. There's been some hints at one from Dova, but
There's
we don't
the
have...
Civil War, and we're trying to kill those filthy Stormcloaks.
I want to like the Stormcloaks because I always prefer supporting the underdog, but they're just racist bastards.
They're so mean, and I'm always a lizard, and I want to join them.
Zerth
Just always
would,
go with the Imperials to strengthen the Empire. Always.
Both
I
sides
just
are
go off-
bad.
I just go off on the sides and just
Fuck
climb
Thelmore.
mountains for like 12 hours.
You know, I
See,
wish
yeah.
that was an option in the game where you could just be like, you know what? I don't choose you. I don't choose you. I'm gonna go for the crown.
I'm
the
gonna go
thing
for
is-
the dragons.
General Tullius is only mean to me before the Helgen incident.
I am the Empire now.
Anyways,
Ulfric is only powerful because he knows one shout.
the tavern keeper Vile places down a small pile of these brick-shaped packages. And looking closely at them, they seem to be a almost seamless wrapping of what look to be leaves or some sort of leaf material. You can see tiny little veins in it. And he places down 12 of them
That's so generous.
before folding up the empty sack and just tossing it aside.
I'm going to put them in my bag of holding.
All right. And those would be 12 days of rations, basically.
Sweet.
All right. What about the rest of you? As he
Noon's gonna give him a Galifar.
All right. Go ahead and take away one Galifar.
Yeah, Zerth was gonna do the same thing. Since he's completing his stock.
And he doesn't have much going on here, so Noon is very thankful for his support of us, so he's gonna continue giving increased amounts of money.
I would say Zerth would go out and start foraging for the empty buildings for extra clothes.
Yeah,
Alright.
so we should probably start doing that together.
Both of you go ahead and give me investigation checks.
Noon
Oh,
was gonna
right.
go with because him and Zerth kind of have a good system.
Mhm.
All right.
That's. Oh, there it is. I knew that was coming.
So Yark and Zerth.
I knew
Um,
it'd be the
yes.
torch.
Yes, the floor seems to be made out of floor.
You keep us warm.
Which
you
is
just seem to
vitally
have
important.
terrible luck today, Noon. I mean, you hit the little anchoring stone, but can't manage to find much else.
So he's just
Um,
gonna keep the cold-bloodeds warm and give light because it's dark out now.
Yeah.
Darkness.
It is fairly firmly post evening. But combined searching, you manage to find basically enough clothing to keep you warm for extended periods of time outside.
Anun suggests that we look for more clothes than just ourselves, so we can keep them at the tavern in case other people come by.
That's a good idea.
I'd say with that roll, you'd probably be able to find at least 10 extra sets of just common clothes.
Just common, not winter.
Well, winter clothes, but as far as like rarity and price goes, they'd be
Oh,
basically
okay.
common clothes.
I would say we keep probably 2 or 3 of these with us as well. Just in case we do need to bundle up a bit more. Because after all, in the cold, you can always add more layers.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
That's fine. I just want to keep some spare ones for, is it Bile?
Bile.
Oh, did you add iron flasks to your inventory?
Let's see.
Is it possible for me to
I
give
believe I did.
Dusty my iron flask, or do you have to do it, Dova?
I believe I have to do it. I thought
Alright.
we already changed it over.
I thought so too, but here it is, iron flask tuned in my inventory.
Oh yeah, it's not in there. I
Huh.
thought we did it.
Alright.
I even typed in the description.
Well, now you have the official description.
Neat. Pooty. Pudding does not like the cold.
He's become something you add to a refreshing beverage.
Yeah, he's just a pudding pop now.
There you go. I was trying to think of something good.
Lick, lick, lick. I have no tongue. Great.
The tavern keeper Bile is humbled at you guys going to these lengths to make sure he is well supplied.
We
As you
like
bring the
people.
clothes in, he says, I'm sure you're well aware that tonight's rent is going to be free. I know that didn't need to be said, but I just want to make sure that you know.
As
We
long
still
as you're
appreciate
not.
that.
Yes. Thank you very much.
That as long as we're still in town and you need something, just let us know because we want to help you out.
Hey Dove, I'm gonna start heating up some nice tea with these floral teas that I still have.
All
These
right.
sachets.
If you need any meat, we got a ranger. Sure, we can find something.
Use.
The tea that you eventually brew up is fairly nice, but if you keep it in your mouth for a bit too long, you taste a very faint flavor that it kind of puts a
Bitter.
kind of it just reminds you of the Mournlands, that kind of apathy.
And I made sure they were safe before cooking them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
While
They look fresh, and they definitely taste fresh, but there's still that little tiny bit of kind of acrid, smoky aftertaste.
I make sure everyone has sugar
All right.
available.
while
Dusty is already consuming his cotton candy. Dusty's.
Sorry, Sinnoh, go ahead.
while they were looking for the clothes, Sinnoh would have gone off to hunt a bit
All right.
with DeSoda.
Go ahead and give me a survival check with, I'd say with advantage, since you do have a tracking dog, basically.
Zareth, can you learn?
Jeez.
Do you know purify food and water?
I don't, but I can see if I learn it.
I believe it is a cleric spell.
It is.
Yeah, I just don't know
that's
what
weird.
level.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was of the level you can cast yet.
I think it's level 1.
I don't-
Sinnoh. The forests around here seem to be fairly bare of game. You managed to snag a rabbit and a squirrel. But other than that, no big game.
Your battle probably scared them off.
That
Probably.
or something else.
He wasn't looking for a
Yeah.
whole lot, just something that he could throw into a pot with some other stuff for a nice stew.
Noon's gonna talk to Bile again.
All right.
So, does your friend in the basement need anything?
He takes care of himself.
Alright.
I've never really had to send food down. He's never asked for it, so I assume he's got some sort of stockpile.
Oh, so it's a wizard.
Do you have friends staying in there with him, or is it just him?
I believe it's just him. I do every once in a while hear some strange noises coming out from the kind of through the floorboards, but he kind of does his own thing, and I don't infringe upon that.
Alright.
But I have yet to talk to him about whether or not he's going to move out once I do. We'll find out.
Fair enough, just trying to make sure you guys can take care of yourselves here.
Oh yeah, I think we'll be fine through the winter, especially with that large amount of honey and a possible amount of salt that you've gifted me. As he kind of looks over at the two large stock pots that have now have kind of a cheesecloth covering over them.
Yark wags his tail.
Probably get some rest and start heading out. Light.
And
Maybe a
I'll
little bit past then, because first light is usually about the coldest.
I'll get some hot stones ready just to make sure that your rooms are warm.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
All right.
Sinnoh would have returned and, like, he only went out for half an hour to an hour and was focused on just grabbing something to bring back and cook up.
All right. And Bile basically lets you have full reign of whatever's in the kitchen to make a stew with.
He'll,
or you could also just hand it to Yarkin.
yeah, he's gonna hand it to York.
All right. Go ahead and make a cooking check for whatever you want to make with it. What are you going for?
What kind of meat did he bring again?
One rabbit and one squirrel.
Small amounts of meat sounds perfect for a stew.
All right.
I was gonna be upset at the 4, but honestly, an 11 is pretty average.
Yeah, it's as far as stews go, not bad. It's cold outside. The wind is picking up a little bit. So every once in a while, you have kind of a light dusting patter against the windows, and you can hear a faint howling from the chimney. But before long, you guys have wooden bowls full of a fairly bog standard but very filling stew, along with some kind of crusty stale bread, which is perfect for mopping it up.
It's all going down the gullet in one gulp.
As we all
It's a shot
know,
glass.
these whenever you cook with ingredients like that, you always get a bonus to stats. So do we get a bonus to probably our dexterity for the ingredients?
I'd say you're definitely warmed all the way through, and you'll probably have a
Sweet.
bonus to the Constitution checks for cold weather.
Nice.
Wasn't really expecting anything, but nice, thank you. I was more just making fun of, how the every video game. Oh,
Yes,
you ate rabbit?
bonus
Well,
stats,
now
yeah.
your dexterity's got a boost.
I
Why?
thought all the alchemy was super weird. And Skyrim,
Alchemy, I
like
can
just eating random
somewhat
stuff.
I can
What was, like,
somewhat understand because it's supposed to be like magical kind of thing, but
This
You made
heals
a
you
stew.
for 4 points, but you take 10 points of damage.
I
oh
hear,
god, yes.
I hear like in Morrowind, there was a thing where you could combine a cheese wedge and a sliced cheese wheel, and get like a potion versus fire or something. And there's a comic where you just put in the wedge in the cheese and you have a cheese wheel versus fire.
Oh, that was Oblivion.
Oblivion. Okay, yeah, that.
Morrowind's potion system is actually absurd because it just straight up stacks. No limits.
What about Oblivion's spellcrafting system?
Oh god.
Here's a fireball that does 300 points of damage.
Anyways,
But there's not enough mana in the game to cast it.
the night passes without much event. The world completely silent around you. The little pile of rocks from the large central hearth, kind of piled up in a corner next to your bed, radiating heat off through the night. As
Can I sleep on these rocks, or are they gonna hurt me?
they're fairly hot at the beginning of the night, but they definitely cool down as time goes by, and you can actually just put them right in your bed.
Perfect.
Is it like under the mattress or by your feet?
All right.
Lay directly on them. It's perfect.
Your hot stone?
I'm sure Zerth is doing something similar.
You don't want to know what he's doing with the hot stones. He's in his gator tub.
Yikes. Oh, are you sleeping in water? In a tub?
Yeah,
in heated water.
in heated water.
While the beds are not fancy, they're basically ropes tied through a frame and then furnished with a very, very thin kind of bedroll. But the blanket is kind of itchy, but very thick and warm. And eventually your internal clocks kind of slowly wake you up. It's still dark outside, but you can tell that full night has passed. And I'll make sure to do a long rest on y'all, because I know one of you guys is very hurt.
Gee, I wonder who that could be.
I stubbed my
Noon had a
toe.
long day
Yeah.
yesterday.
All right. As it is now morning. So what do you guys do?
Bright,
Hmm.
early, dripping somewhat wet.
Yeah, I dry off quickly before the cold air cools you off too
Oh
much.
yeah, you're starting to get real cold.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna, before he leaves, he's gonna go down, assuming there's a fire, and just gonna curl up near the fire. So he
All
moves
right.
from one heated source to the next heated source.
Noon is going to get out of bed, cast prestidigitation on his robe to clean it up, thinking that he really needs to get it enchanted.
And on his fur, I hope.
If I could do that, that'd be interesting.
No, well, I meant the prestidigitation, not the enchantment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll clean myself up, and then head downstairs to, because the stew was over the fire all night, right? Something like that.
It's been sitting in the off heat.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
that's-
suppose you'd have about half of it left from last night.
I was assuming that's how we would get the.
No, it wasn't cooking
food to
overnight.
cold.
We were still hungry that night.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he'll have some more of that in the morning.
All
I'll
right.
have some more, and also I'll be working on I want to see if I can make what is essentially a Kirk collar, maybe less violent toward the dirt,
Mhm.
so it doesn't just fling stuff off you, but it keeps away like normal grime and dust and stuff.
Stuff just kind of
Doesn't
falls
stick-
right off.
It doesn't stick to you, yeah.
All right.
Not actively repelling mud as soon as it lands on you. Although that was fun. I don't think it's within my capabilities yet.
Yeah. We'll
It
say
doesn't
it's
have to-
definitely
Because
that
the
would definitely be a
technology
common magic item.
definitely exists.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I don't really have a lot of money, so I'm gonna try to make my own. Can't be that
Alright.
hard.
Yeah. And I believe you have a Xanathar's guide.
Yes.
Go ahead and look at the magic item crafting for that. It'd be considered a common magical item.
All right. Go ahead and do other people on doing that because I
Alright.
gotta open up the module.
Does anyone else want to do anything special before they gear up and head out?
Not special exactly. Dusty's just trying to find some opportunity to sleep upside down for the first time in a long time.
Oh, there was plenty of rafters in the in your guys' rooms. As it's kind of like a vaulted ceiling, with fairly steep rooftops. But you can definitely find a rafter up there. It's a little bit cold, but if you stand in just the right place, you can catch the rising heat column from the hot rocks.
I'm going to ritual cast Unseen Servant to hopefully see if it can plow the snow in front of us.
All right.
Probably can't do it that quickly though.
It can start clearing off the immediate area in front of the lodge, but not really. Like as you walk, it just kind of clears a path.
All right.
It's basically removing it, admittedly large, handful by handful.
That works. He's just trying out what he can do.
I was gonna work on adjusting some of the cold weather clothing to work for DeSoto.
All right.
A little bit of
do you have
extra
any-
warmth for him isn't never a bad thing.
Do you have any sort of sewing tools? Actually, Bio will actually lend you a tailor's kit. Basically, sewing needles, some scissors, thread.
I could have sworn I picked some up. I thought I did. But alright. He will collect the bones and stuff from the rabbit and squirrel, the bone and skin fur, for later use. But yeah, he'll kind of take what's there and adjust it for the quadruped.
All right. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check.
You said it's a common magic item, right?
Yep.
All right. So that's 50 gold and 1 work week.
The clothes that you're having to work with are just kind of the wrong size. You try your best, and eventually you almost kind of give up a little bit as making it like fancy. DeSoto does look like a rather unhappy burrito, but it does look much warmer than before. And you know that he should be all right in temperatures as they are right now. It's about 20, 25 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so a safe amount below freezing, but still fairly warm. And that would be about -3 or -4 degrees for our centigrade brethren. But DeSoto looks very indignant.
Hey, buddy, don't worry. You will really appreciate this later.
He just kind of snorts.
Ooh.
Is he dressed up like that kid from the Christmas Story?
Kind of looks like that. It looks very hard to make human clothing fit a wolf very well.
Zerth is trying his bestest not to laugh.
I just love the unhappy that made it. That was good enough for me.
It comes out as hisses, like short hisses.
You're still laying down in front of the campfire, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So your laughing makes me tumble off of the top of you.
I pick you up and put you back on.
I continue working on my magic item.
We got some art.
Father.
Way.
Sweet. Perfect. I'd hope that's what this was going to be.
Side note, my wife was trying to send me a picture and it crashed. Tell her.
Ooh.
Wow, those the snowbolt and the snowbat are a lot bigger than I thought they would be, but that's perfect.
Very
I'm even
ambitious.
happy. I'm even happier with this result.
All right.
Thank you, Power Stone.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, goodness.
Definitely the biggest contributor of fan art we have here.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If by biggest you
blank is
mean
very warm.
only, yeah.
He doesn't have any competition.
Aggressive wink wink, aggressive nudge nudge to the rest of the chat.
Friggin' love
I
this.
want Power Stone to start coming to the other D&D games.
No, you'll wear him out. He's ours.
Silva,
They can get their own Power Stone.
how fast would it take? How long would it take for me to make a magic hat that would make the snow bolt come to life?
I mean, that's probably thinking of
If the answer is
Yes.
more than 30, if the answer is more than half an hour, I can't do it.
yeah, it's probably a rare.
I mean, that'd be a golem, right?
Yeah, that'd be a snow golem.
Oh my
Wouldn't
god!
it just be a
Frosty
hat of like Awaken?
Frosty the
Awaken
Snowman was a snow golem created by a hat of awakening.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's pretty accurate, actually.
Imagine snow golem would not be very nice because you can't bring it anywhere warm.
I think. Yeah, a collar would probably be best for a kobold. Although I have to get requests from everyone else if they want one, what kind of accessory they'd want it to be.
All right,
What's
so
happening?
I don't know. Actually, I really should know.
I'm essentially
It's
making
kind of my job to know.
I'm essentially making a cur collar, and over time I'm gonna make one for everyone. But I want I want to know what kind of accessory you want it if you don't want it to be a collar.
Maybe just like a bracer.
A
Or a
what?
band. A bracer or a band.
A bracer, is that an arm thing?
Basically,
Yeah.
like a
Like a
forearm
wrist
guard.
Yeah.
Oh, like a bracelet, but it's the older brother.
Yeah, exactly. That's how
The Virgin
that's-
bracelet versus the Chad bracer.
Bracer.
Anyways, we should probably move on.
All right,
We can
we gotta
move
go to a
forward
town.
a little
don't we?
while as you guys finish up your morning routines. Get all geared up. Make sure all your packs and weapons are all strapped on and ready to go. Currently outside, the sun has finally risen. About 8, 9 a.m. And you guys ate the last of the stew that was remaining from last night. It had just been kind of warming overnight, covered, of course. It had thickened up a little bit, but
just
it
makes
was
it
just
more
the
hearty.
perfect consistency to put on top of toasted bread.
Sweet.
Excellent.
That's like sausage gravy. I love sausage gravy.
Yeah. In
As you
Japanese.
guys,
Yeah,
as you guys set out, the tavern keeper gives you a polite wave, goodbye,
I wave goodbye.
I waved
and
with my
then,
tail.
slowly shuts the door.
Bye.
I hope he does okay.
I bet he'll do fine.
He should be okay.
I am
All
never
right,
not
up
going
with
to
fun.
laugh at that. I'm sorry. Zursa
Can't,
voice.
he can't handle the gator.
Wow,
It's fine.
can't handle the gator.
More like I can't handle the 14-year-old fake deep. God.
All right, so first day of traveling. The winds are fairly calm. It is partly cloudy, but a large amount of warming sunlight. As you guys trudge through the snow, it's about on an average humanoid. It's about halfway, or most of the way up to the knees. Kind of varying in thickness for the snow drifts that kind of pop up every once in a while. Go ahead, and can I get 2 d20 rolls for the first day?
I'm surprised I was the first one to do it.
All right.
Usually me that I'm
Uh,
eating.
Not much happens for the first day. You do see the skeleton of an old burnt down cabin, and as you kind of poke your head in to check, nothing seems to be in there. It seems to have burned down a long time ago. But the first day comes to a close. You guys are able to easily find a nice camping spot. And with the help of an unseen servant, if anyone would like to cast it,
And several fire spells.
you guys are able to clear out a nice little camping spot. But you do
Oh,
lack
yeah.
any permanent shelter at the moment, though.
Oh yeah, if we're staying here, I'll recast ritual cast unseen servant and have him clear out snow.
All right.
Just building up into banks around the burned down walls if there's just a structure.
All right. Yeah, you can backtrack a little while to, and you would have encountered it basically at sunset, so you guys could use that as sort of a basis for a shelter. The roof itself does not exist, but it isn't snowing at the moment, so that doesn't matter too much. You guys are able to find wood in the forest without much issue. And before long, you guys have a crackling campfire, which is slowly melting the snow beneath it and kind of settling on the bare ground beneath. This is a really loud and high-pitched song. I'm gonna skip that.
In contrast, ours is really quiet and jazzy.
All right. So, what are you guys doing as you camp overnight?
Pull up my bedroll and nice and warm.
I'm gonna work on the collar.
All right.
Very, very close to the fire.
Throughout the day, Sin will He does have the ability to forage for food and stuff, so he would have been doing that throughout the day.
All right. And this landscape actually does provide. You managed to grab a handful of wild berries. How many people can you provide for?
Let me... Is it this one? I know one of these allows me. It just says when you forage, you find twice as much food as you normally would.
All right.
So I don't know what the standard is for D&D, but it does also specify that when I'm foraging or navigating, tracking, etc., I'm remain alert to danger, and I can move at the same speed. Same speed, yeah.
I think it's a
All right.
survival check based on how much food you
Yeah.
get.
Go ahead and give me a survival check.
I will also have DeSoda with me, of course, if that changes anything.
As far as identifying edible plants and berries and stuff like that goes, I'd say no.
He'd also be hunting. Because, you know, if you're looking for berries and you see a rabbit, you gotta grab the rabbit, too.
All right. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
Never mind!
Not really gonna get better than that.
Unless he rolls one too.
Let me see. How much water can the decanter provide?
8 gallons of fresh water.
8 gallons of fresh water. All right, that
Per
actually
day.
provides you with enough water per day
Sweet.
if you want to use that.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right.
Mine's more for long term. Because 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons, quite a lot.
That's a lot.
Mhm.
And Sinel, you're actually able to find a handful of snowberry bushes. Basically going by, they look almost identical to the ones encountered in Skyrim. Basically these bright red berries encountered in a very thorny bush, but with a little bit of care, you're able to navigate around the thorns and are able to nab quite a bit. Along with, you're not able to find any roots, as digging up in random spots would just be tedious. But you would actually manage to bag 2 more rabbits. Go ahead and minus 1 arrow though, as one of them does break.
Done.
All right.
And he'll just pass everything he makes to cats. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm trying to say. It all goes to Yark.
Yeah. All right. So, what are you guys gonna do for food for the day?
I guess just what he forged us up.
Mhm.
Does it last more than one? Is it more than enough food for one day?
I'd say it's an appropriate amount of food for one day.
All right, well,
Given
perfect.
that it is winter, but you did roll so high, I think it would probably even out.
Yay.
Perfect. Plenty of food and water then.
All right. The food itself, though, it's fairly limited to work with as far as a meal goes, since it is really just a large amount of berries and 2 rabbits.
Everyone gets rabbit skewers and berry jam.
Could we question Nova?
'Kay.
Or actually Yark? Well, kind of both. I create food and water. It's bland but nutritious food. Could that be mixed with what they bought and just kind of spat it out with being it mildly flavorful?
I believe the food goes bad after 1 day, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely make it a lot more filling. Basically, you get a rather kind of a little bit drier oatmeal. Is basically what comes out of that.
So you don't have to do it this way, but a previous DM that I had based it off of their deity, what kind of food they got. Out of curiosity, what kind of food would your deity provide us?
Do you remember those cold fire noodles back in the first campaign?
I believe so.
Things that were insanely hot. It's probably something along that.
Dusty's eyes just like cross briefly, and he wonders, "I'm dying."
There's a reason he doesn't cook. I mean, he likes it because he can taste it, but it's like drinking fire or eating lava.
Well, good thing that'll be a last resort.
It'll warm you up. I can guarantee you that.
In a way. The same way being set on fire warms you up.
Yeah.
You're warm for the rest of your life. But yeah, you're definitely able to feed everyone, although your dining experience may vary slightly. Go ahead
Hey,
and
where'd you drain the bunnies?
Just in the snow.
Cool. Thinly veiled desire.
On this collapsible jerky rack that I built.
did you build that with like sticks?
With sticks, yeah.
All right. Yeah, there's a kind of a fairly flimsy looking jerky rack just kind of stuck down in the snow.
With a lot of blood beneath it.
A lot of it.
Snow blood. And then for the rest of my free time, I'll be working on the collar because it's going to take a whole work week, and I don't want to make it take any longer.
Dusty vanishes.
All right.
Along with the snow that was under those jerky racks.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
You got it. There it is. Nah.
Your
he's not that
enthusiasm overtakes you as you hurriedly scoop up the blood-soaked snow, which is kind of frozen into a large kind of slushy chunks. Let me see. So
I mean,
Father
Zerth
Zerth,
still has to roll contested.
everyone would see that. No,
Oh.
because everybody's passive perception is above that.
yes.
I like to imagine it's a Skyrim sneaking style where he's just crouched while doing it and thinks he's hidden.
Clearly not behind what you think is a tree, but it's really just a branch. You're the wrong angle.
What you don't
says you're
understand is
hidden, but not to
previously
allies.
he put a bowl on top of everyone's head and thought it was good enough.
You stealth from enemies, but you're still seen by companions, so we all just watch.
Damn it! I need a cauldron or something. Your snout is too long, Father.
It's too powerful.
It's never too long. This snout is mighty of many generations.
This snout has been passed down through generations.
It's a family snout, and one day it may be yours.
Mm-hmm. I'm still eating that. I'm still...
All right, cool. Anyone else doing anything before we sleep and go the next day?
Zer's just spending time with his 2 kids. That's it.
Right in front of the fire.
Sinnoh's gonna work with the bones and try to fashion a sewing kit of sorts out of it. Make needles out of them.
I thought you borrowed one already.
Yeah, but we're now how many hours away from there?
Oh, I thought he lent it to you. Never mind.
Go ahead and.
I'd say survival for that, personally.
I mean,
Yeah. Maybe survival with intelligence. I'd say regular survival. It's basically fashioning a tools out of what you have. You're lacking like string. But you're able to kind of fashion these into a very makeshift sewing. It's like sewing needles. Not really any shears. But you can make like a set of like hooked sewing needles, which are definitely applicable in a lot of areas. Are you guys going to set a watch schedule for the night?
Sinnoh will go first.
I'll go last.
I'll go second to last.
All right. Go ahead and give me a perception check during your watch, Sinnoh. So as you are sitting on a nearby stump that you've kind of dragged out to act as a little stool, you're working on your little sewing needles when DeSoda, who's been just kind of laying down, not really asleep, when his eyes or his head kind of shoots up and looks off into the forest. You can see his ears twitching a little bit from side to side, but clearly staring off at a certain point. And with that, you kind of look in that area and you don't really see anything. There's a long while of you just kind of looking off in that area, trying to hear what he might have heard. And after a little while, DeSoda kind of looks back at the fire, takes a big ol' yawn, and then lays back down.
Sinnoh's gonna look over there for a bit longer before shrugging it off, but being more on alert. More alert about something that might be out there.
All right. Who is doing the second to last watch?
Oh, that's me.
Yark, go ahead and
perception
give
check.
me a perception check. As you are doing or you grab one of your tiny files and start to grind down one of the mounting points for one of the tiny gemstones that are going to be aiding to power it. You grind a little bit, blow off the dust, and kind of wipe it off. And as you're doing so, you hear a very faint change in the wind somewhere behind you. You're not sure what it was, but it definitely wasn't a sound that you expected to hear from the wind passing through these trees. And you kind of look over where you thought it came from, just behind you. And you're staring for a while, and it's dark. The only lights coming from anywhere are coming from either far above in the glimmering, almost bright star and moonscape above. As there are currently 5 of Eberron's moons above you, as well as the glimmering gold ring of it's not Kyber. It's not Eberron. What's the yellow dragon shards? What are those called? I forget. Let me see. It's not Kyber, it's Sybaris. The rings of Sybaris.
Nice. And is the only moon?
The what?
That's the only moon that's up right now?
No. Sybaris is the rings of dragon shards that surround the planet. You can actually see kind of stretching above and then kind of curling behind the horizon. And you see the five of the moons.
Do you know how cool it would be to live on a ringed planet?
It's radical.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. But to you guys, that's just the night sky. It's kind of always been that way.
Ooh, what a color.
I don't know. I'm still impressed. I still love looking at the moon sometimes.
I mean, it's always a realm of study. There's a lot of mysterious things that nobody really knows about those moons, like if you could even get to them, if they're real. Well,
I hear nobody comes back from the moon because it kills you because it's alive.
But
it
anyways,
always goes first.
Yark,
You cheater.
Yes.
You strain your eyes, try to look past the flickering firelight into the almost pitch black forest. And you think you see something, and as you're looking, you see almost what looks like a bit of shifting mist, clearly in a single shape, moving from tree to tree, off in a distance, maybe 100, 200 feet away. As you're staring at it, it's completely silent, and as it continues, as you get a better look, you realize that it looks humanoid, and you think you can pick out the shape of a face with these completely empty, pitch black eye sockets. It kind of looks in your direction before kind of bobbing, falling towards the ground and just dissipating into a thin layer of mist that just slowly evaporates.
I'm gonna put my arm cannon on just in case. As I'm sitting on my my heated gauntlet.
All right. It's just kind of hovering in the air, slightly bobbing and swaying.
Perfect.
Wait, you have an arm cannon?
Yeah, that's how I cast Firebolt.
I was hoping to get one of those so I can give it to my skeleton, give him a gaster blaster.
Anyways, who's taking last watch?
I am.
All right.
Perception.
Do you tell him about what you saw, Yark?
Yes, I do. And I also hand him my detachable heated hand.
Get some gator pats. I'll keep an eye out for it. And let's go. Let's roll. Not bad.
As you are kind of basking, sitting very, very close to the fire, listening to the faint breathing of your sleeping companions around you. Your eye, your artificial eye, kind of twitches a few times, and you blink hard, and it settles back down. But it's a few moments later, about a minute or two, that at your shoulder kind of twitches, and you get the intense feeling that you're being watched.
Hmm.
As you kind of whip your head around to see whatever perceived motion you thought you might have seen. Look hard, you don't see anything.
So like I saw it for like a split second.
You think so? It might have been a vague shape, but it's kind of like trying to track down the weird little phantoms in your eye when you press against the closed eye.
Oh, okay, well that spell won't work then. Hmm. All right. He will kind of keep like a side eye of where he saw it and where he thought he saw it, like kind of. And then if it happens again, he'll go up and investigate.
All right. Doesn't seem to happen. You don't seem to see anything for the rest of the night as dawn slowly begins to peak. But there is a moment where you feel a very intense shiver pass through your body, almost involuntarily. But as soon as that sensation comes over you, it passes.
Before, like towards the end of a long, actually no, I think I could do my channel divinity twice 6. He'll just cast turn undead.
Does that require a verbal component?
I don't think so. Each undead that can see or
I suppose it would depend on your deity. I mean,
Yeah.
but how would the Fury turn undead?
like technically probably just fire.
Screaming.
Scream.
Just screaming. All right,
It would
everyone's awake now, and Zerth is screaming, holding his holy symbol as a shield high above his head, and there's a lot of like red, energetic magics just radiating from it. You guys all assume the worst.
Oh, it's sad. Okay, good night.
Anun actually knows what's going on because his own undead has been turned by him.
You would.
Gonna lazily get up, figure out what's happening.
If I don't sense any undead, he'll just mutter, "I saw a spider."
You're just gonna say, "Oh, that is a perfectly response," and then go back to sleep.
Yeah, we're outside in a dilapidated house, right? It's also winter. There are no spiders.
It was a big spider.
I scooch closer to Zerth at the mention of that.
Don't worry about it. I will get it quietly next time.
Anun's gonna try going back to bed.
And
Father, is it dead?
it will be soon when I get my hands on it.
Go catch it and stab its ankles.
Will do. I'll
And
bring
then-
it back on the phone.
And then go ahead and give me an Arcana check. You would actually know something that relates to this. As you were kind of looking at the night sky just a little bit last night, you realized that the the Dolur, one of the moons, was actually very, very close in its orbit to Eberron. The magical influence of Dolur, the realm of the dead, actually meant that necromancy is much easier. Reviving the dead is much easier, and ghosts are much more common.
Oh, I will pass this on to the others. Probably don't have an undead sense, do I?
No,
You have a
it's power.
vague feeling, but not nearly enough to just kind of pick out. Oh, there's definitely a ghost in this area.
Oh, there is?
You would
Or
not
you
be able
just
to
say-
do that.
Oh, okay. Alright, cleric. Well, there's moon and probably a ghost.
Does this ghost make noise? Or does it just its vague shape in the distance?
I'll keep that in mind.
Sorry, Dusty, was that an out of character question or an in character?
No, in character question, because he is still slightly waking up, but he did offer to go find it and stab its ankles.
Hmm.
So he's gonna go out and kill this thing. It's fine, it's fine. I can punch ghosts now, trust me. It's
And then he'll just like probably take Yark and move him closer to the fire as where he sits, and just kind of keep a watchful eye for the rest of the night.
All right. The rest of the night is rather uneventful as dawn eventually comes. As you guys slowly wake up, you guys all had fairly, I don't know, foreboding dreams. A lot of very kind of creepy open spaces. A handful of you, right, probably all of you, would have kind of just seen these vague forms in the distance, just kind of watching. But as time goes on, the memory of those dreams fades, as the memories of dreams tends to do.
Nova, stop!
What?
We're out of the borderland!
You're never out
Stop!
of the Borderland.
You have touched the Moorlands. You have become infected.
It's a lie. We're still
We're
in
more
there.
touched.
You never left.
I just need to take some rat X or rat away.
Oh no, I accidentally took Bat away. Dusty is immediately repelled into the distance.
All right. As you guys close up camp, douse the flames, and start to head out. As you are just leaving line of sight, does anybody look back?
Zerthwood.
As you're rounding a bend, just about to leave line of sight, you look back, just kind of pausing. And as you're staring back, you think you might be able to see outlines of humanoids in the spaces between the trees.
Ah, damn it! You brought them to our world.
But the harder that you stare at them, the more difficult it is to discern features. It's just kind of in your peripheral vision, you see these vague outlines.
He's gonna look towards the area. Do the thing with your two fingers to your eyes, back and forth. as he continues walking, watching you.
All right.
Dusty glances at them and then just like looks next to them and tries to see if there's something really interesting that's next to them. Like, just like gesture with his hand. Could you move like a little to the left?
Nothing kind of interesting, but from here, not for you at least.
Spooky stuff happens. We don't care. Just move out of the way. I need to see that piece of dirt.
I mean, we
Pretty
have
much
quite-
like, hey,
we
that
have
piece
fought
of dirt
ghosts
that
already.
you're in front of, that's really interesting now.
Sorry, Eric, what'd you say?
We have fought ghosts already, so like we know they exist.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then he'll just Zerth will keep up the back end of the party.
All right. As the journey continues.
Now I'm kind of just imagining a world like this where, it's kind of a typical day for you to go down to your local adventurers guild and put up a quest. Yeah, my uncle died last weekend and he's still sticking around. Would somebody come put him back down?
Cleric or paladin
Yes,
needed.
he's pissing me off.
Druids no need
He's
apply.
being annoying he's being an annoying little shit and keeps complaining about how he died. Please get rid of him.
Serious offers only.
Just a
Fucking hell.
typical
Anyways,
Saturday.
Can somebody please roll a d6 for me?
Oh,
Oh, all right. All right. So,
One more of those, and we have an encounter on our hands.
yeah. Actually, yeah, okay. So, as you are trudging along, you think you're staying on the path, but it's kind of hard to tell as the forests are starting to get a little bit thinner in this area, kind of leading back into the very just spanning grasslands of the remainder of the continent, the ones that the lightning rail sped along. You're just kind of going along, and all of a sudden, DeSoto kind of stumbles a bit and curiously kind of looks into one of the paw prints, kind of sniffing around before obviously having gotten a hold of something. He starts kind of grabbing and yanking and pulling, and eventually kind of tugs a rather fancy-looking piece of fabric out.
Ooh.
Ooh. Sindel will quickly go over and carefully extract the fabric from his mouth.
All right.
No, bad. Give. Give.
Let's go. In your hand, you have a slightly soggy piece of a very heavy, what feels like kind of a leathery and oily cloth. Very clearly connected to something else that he was tugging on. As you pull it further and further, you realize that it is what looks to be a collapsed tent. And kind of excavating and pulling the snow aside. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. All right.
All right, so where was it made? Who's the master crafter of it?
You aren't able to determine that. but you do determine that you are able to find all of like the pitching hardware. You're able to determine that it is a 2-person tent, but on the inside, it is just covered in various runes and sketchings. Inun, as you're kind of looking over his shoulder, you recognize one of them. It's not the sort of R symbol that you've seen a few times before, but it's just one of the symbols on your robes. Just kind of
Fantastic.
interspersed with all these various spiraling arcane runes and various sigils. But the interior surface is just coated with them.
I want to open up the book.
All right.
Done that
The
in a
sigil
while.
itself looks kind of like a slanted T, but with a kind of a right angle triangle down at the bottom. However, even though all these are very clearly arcane markings, it's not really radiating any sort of magic at this point. And you guys would definitely be, especially Yark and Inun, you'd be able to feel that it's definitely mundane. However, you're not able to find actually no, you probably would. Beneath the snow on the inside, it's clearly kind of pushed its way in and collapsed the whole thing. You do find a mostly decomposed skeleton, wearing very tattered clothes. There is a very rusted dagger in a sheath on the belt. In addition to a handful of food that's clearly gone bad. There is a bottle, an empty bottle, the cork having rotted out and the wine inside frozen and escaped. And you find an empty coin pouch. Just kind of guessing, it's clear to see that somebody's already picked this one over.
Is it just the one skeleton?
Just the one skeleton.
All right, Gaster, let's go.
As
Gonna
you
raise it.
as you reach forward to pull a spare soul, not really a soul, but a reconstruction of a soul, you find that it's much easier than normal. It still requires the same amount of material components and spell energies, but the actual mental strain involved is a considerable amount less.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Singing along.
What I'm curious about is, I know it can't speak, but it still understands language isn't new. I wonder if I can have it right, because skeletons are dexterous.
You can certainly try.
I'm gonna bring out some parchment and command it to write that symbol from the tent.
All right. It kind of looks at you. What's its intelligence?
6.
6, so that's a -2.
That is correct.
It rolled a 4 total.
All
So it
right.
kind of looks at the pen, very loosely scribbles just basically a common language T. It completely forgets about the part on the bottom.
Ha, T for tent.
All right. Well, try again some other time. But all right. Well,
In the
we have Gaster back.
treasure, or sorry, in the inventory section of the party sheet, are you able to see the full description
Nope,
of the
it's
tent?
blank.
All right, cool.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wrote cool actually. Oh, and there's still a lot inside the parcel. I believe somebody did end up copying them down.
Yeah, that was Yark, I believe. Copied those.
All right, I'll go ahead and remove that from the parcel, just to clear that out.
I copied the what?
When you got all
money
your coins last time from the
from Crazy Earl.
I didn't.
who did that? Who gave?
I think that was
Yark,
actually you and Dusty split them
Yeah.
up
Oh,
amongst each
okay.
other.
No, I had my own thing for the mushrooms, and then Dusty had his own thing. We both had separate parcels.
I wasn't present.
Okay,
I wasn't
yeah,
present for
makes
that
sense.
event.
It was Dusty. I forget what Dusty gave him.
I gave him fog juice.
Oh yeah, the cloud residue.
All right. Anyways, who, if anybody, takes the tent?
Noon definitely will. Definitely will, and he'll give it to Gaster.
I mean, I could just put it in my bag of holding.
I want to be careful with this. I don't want to mix it with that magic just yet. I
Yeah.
know that it's mundane, but it has my runes, and that's one of 3 objects in this world that currently has it.
Okay.
Can Dusty sneak off to the side? Can Dusty?
I suppose they're pretty focused on this, so yeah.
He's going to kneel down and try to get the Soda's attention.
All right. I mean, you can kind of wave a little bit, and I don't know if you have any food to offer.
He has his daily cotton candy.
You can definitely offer that as DeSoto kind of starts creeping over, leaning forward and sniffing the air.
Yes.
He kind of
Taco.
he sniffs the cotton candy in your hand and then eagerly just eats it.
Yeah, I miss you. Everybody missed you. Everybody.
I'm going to go ahead and add this to Inu's inventory. Bow. All right. As you guys making sure that you get everything from there, you guys continue on. The kind of weird groaning, creaking noises from the skeleton as it walks along through the snow. It's currently carrying the roughly 20-pound tightly rolled package just in front of it.
The tent's supposed to have a description?
Can you see the full description?
No, it's all blank.
Yeah, okay, that's perfect. It is not yet.
That's not ominous.
Good. That wasn't really ominous either. That was just kind of weird.
You want? Good.
Excellent. As you guys continue onwards, feeling quite good, just in terms of warmness and general comfort in the cold weather. But eventually you start seeing columns of smoke on the horizon. Not black smoke, as one would associate with like a burning pile of rubble, but more smoke from chimneys, or signs of civilization that's currently functioning. And as evening begins to fall on the second day of travel, you do arrive in the town of Atheron. And it's about as you remember. But as you approach the gates, you notice that the guards are looking rather they're looking rather haggard, right? Yeah. But they manage to let you through the gates. They do give a very cautious eye towards the skeleton. After looking at all of your identification, noticing that you are a necromancer, they're going to say to you, "Of course, we expect no trouble from your aid."
Oh no, Gaster's a sweetheart.
Right.
He rattles.
I need to look something up real quick.
Just would give like a mock
Dude,
salute.
Do,
A soundboard of skeleton bone rattling.
do, do,
Xylophone.
Excellent.
do, 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 do.
Hell is that?
What?
Yep. Mimic.
Oh yeah, it's a ship mimic.
Ship mimic.
Hey, it's only CR12. It's only CR2.
Why didn't you post that in media sharing or tabletops?
Because I was already on Eberron and I forgot to change.
Mm-hmm.
Only 90 HP?
Well, fix it.
Have
Not
more
enough.
HP.
That deserves at least like 200.
Yeah, that's rowboat HP.
it's a robot mimic. I mean, I'd be okay with that too.
Yeah, ship mimic. That's gonna be like 500.
It's a
Mhm.
ship.
It's gotta have a higher
Also-
AC.
It should have a special ability where it's not adhesive all the time, just when it wants to.
Well, it's adhesive only when it's in the form. As soon as it breaks
Uh,
form, it's
When
not
it's
adhesive.
no, exactly.
By the book, technically. Anyways,
It's got to be able to pretend to be a boat for as long as it wants to be.
You said these guards looked unwary with the undead skeleton, or just general?
with the skeleton in particular, is your holy symbol covered, Zerth?
Oh yes,
All right.
with the tarps, quote unquote.
He knows. He knows.
And he's in a cloak to cover the one on his chest. He wears it proudly, just quietly.
The guard who's currently looking over your papers, Inun, flips open into a kind of a ream of papers. And looking at it, you can see that a few regulations and rules have been written on it. He just kind of shrugs, places it back on a table in the guard, like little guardhouse. Gives you your papers back, and then waves you through.
Thanks. Were those rules there before, or did he add those?
But with changes in
wait.
operation, we've got a few different rules.
All right, I'll look over those. Keeps walking.
This is
'cause-
those rules for us, not for you.
Oh, okay, never mind. I
Yeah.
thought it was something.
No, he didn't give it to
supplemented
you. He put the papers back in his guardhouse.
Okay. Like I said, I thought he was supplementing my IDs.
Nope. Just his stuff.
Okay.
All right. As you guys enter, the gates are kind of half open at this point. And as you head in, the slush, kind of slushy and muddy streets, are full of the various normal townsgoers. It's quieting down, but it's the din of civilization which you guys have been unfamiliar with for the past, well, technically 2 months. But for you guys, it's been more like maybe 2 weeks. Duh.
Zerth is indifferent to the time change.
Mm-hmm. So, what are you guys going to do?
I kind of want to go
Magic.
shopping.
You guys want to do shopping?
Been to a place in a few weeks.
It's
Feels
been
like
so long
longer.
since we've seen civilization.
What town is this? Shakar?
Vatheron?
Vatheron.
Saffron, okay. He's Zerth is gonna look to see if their monorail is operational.
All right. Heading through the streets, you do notice that the station for the lightning rail is just swarmed with Brellish soldiers. This seems to be the point where they're arriving, where they're organizing, and where they're heading out. Either on a different lightning rail a bit to the north, or just marching out on foot. They seem to be outfitted as well as a common soldier would be. Certainly not elite, but also just not peasants with spears. But your presence there is largely ignored, as they have bigger things to be concerned with. But it's not closed off to the public, so you're able to kind of squeeze your way up to the counter and seeing the timetable. It seems that the trains are running roughly on time. But it looks like the one that was supposed to arrive 10 minutes ago is still yet to arrive. Zerth?
Yark, we're getting a
I was-
lot of background noise from you.
My bad. I didn't realize.
Okay.
My...
So can you repeat that? My headset died and I'm plugging it in.
How long ago did it die?
I heard when as soon as I said Zerth's gonna go check the monorail, then it died.
Christ.
And then
There's
Bunch
Brownish
of
soldiers.
soldiers.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of soldiers. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay,
But it's not close to the public.
Yes.
okay. Caught up.
The next
I'm
next train's in 10 minutes.
It
Or it should've been
was
here 10
supposed to
minutes
arrive.
ago.
Yeah, but it hasn't arrived yet. But trains seem to be running.
We also just walked about 30 miles, so
Zerth would keep an eye on those soldiers.
All right.
Very close, like.
Your presence is, for the most part, ignored, as you're basically just another part of the crowd. Some of them do give you a few looks after seeing your the shield that's strapped across your back, as well as your heavy armor, but they're soon back to kind of shooting the shit with their companions.
Dova, I just remembered I have that helmet on.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
What helmet?
The dread helm.
The intimidation helmet that I got him.
Oh, right, that one.
Do you leave it on? You wouldn't know the sort of image you are presenting here at this point.
I think he would have had the helmet on going up to the city, but now he's in the city. He would have probably taken it off.
Okay.
Why do you have that helmet? You already have advantage on intimidation. Or
It was,
wait,
the
was he here
scar.
for that?
yeah, but it was before the scar.
Ah,
I thought you might have been missing for that one when the scar happened.
I was. I got my scar. I'm so happy. But yeah,
Are we
he'll keep
leaving?
an eye on.
Sorry, are we leaving on this next train, or are we going shopping?
Thought we were
We
gonna.
can shop at a destination if we want to hit this train.
How much is our tickets though?
it is their space. It's their.
Yark will go with Zerth to try to figure this out.
All right.
Yeah.
Me and Gaster will stay behind so we don't draw too much attention. Soldiers.
I'll ask how much are tickets and if there's any left on this next. What trains are available?
Well, I'll give a check there, little guy.
Oh, is there a
Let
board?
me see. You're heading to Sharn, aren't you?
Yeah, we're going to Shar.
All right. Let me check.
Oh, fuck yeah, bud.
Well, it looks like there's definitely space on the next one. I still got plenty of tickets left over. Seems most people are coming here instead of leaving.
I don't know
But
why this voice is getting me.
as far as prices go, you're looking at well, for a common class ticket, you're looking at about 40 Galifars, give or take.
What about
I know.
storage?
Steerage, that's going to be about half, so like 21.
And
Boy,
first
this
class?
train got
And
expensive.
first class, ooh, as he flicks a few stones across an abacus just below the desk. Well, from here to Sharn nonstop, in first class with meals included, that'd be about 230 Galifars.
Oof.
Yeah.
Hey, Dilvo.
And it tends to be that people who usually go for first class really don't ask for prices. And actually looking, I don't think there's any first class carriages on this next one coming in, so
Oh,
kind of out of luck there.
darn.
Zerth would go to Yark's like, you'll have to ride in storage, like the rest of us, with a wide grin. Because Yark's been first class like the last like 3 times.
Every time.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a sad face. Okay.
Welcome to the family.
What about the next train, though? Who's gonna go at the train after that? Is that gonna have first class?
He doesn't miss a beat. He's looking at the next train. He says, well, the next train that has civilian spots on it's going to be coming in a week. I don't know how much of a hurry you're in, but I mean, there's going to be a few trains in between. Then they're going to be well, they're just military stuff.
Huh.
It kind of state owned, so.
Okay.
Zerth narrows his eyes at the mention of the military.
I pat Zerth's leg. I can probably only reach his leg and say, "We just got some lore for the world lore."
Economy is crazy now.
car
How much
manufacturers
for
making weapons.
How much for a standard class ticket?
The standard class ticket, that'd be let me see. Standard would be about 40 califars, 42 to be exact.
All right. And how long is the trip?
Oh, the trip from here to Sharn should take around 2 days. That's kind of rounding over though. So yeah, if you left right now, you'd probably get there on the morning of the third day.
Electrum are worth 5 Galifars, right?
I believe so.
Or was it 5 sovereigns?
I think it's 5 sovereigns.
Oh.
Regardless, looks like we're going to be in this town for a week.
I mean, this is the train that's should be arriving here shortly.
Yeah, it's only 20 for handbags.
Give me a sec.
And you can fit into a space for like a human space, right? He's looking at Zerf.
I
If
can.
not, it's okay. I'm just making
but-
sure because I got policy that I got charged for 2 if you don't fit in 1.
He was gonna say I can, but he can't. And he'll point to his tail.
I suppose can you fold those under the seats then?
I could tuck it between
Fold that
my
under the
legs.
seats. Okay, fair enough. As they're really cracking down on that now, they're getting efficient.
I wonder why.
5e doesn't have large player characters, do they?
I don't think so. They're all
What's
considered
up?
medium, but they're big.
He's big. I'm on the borderline. So he'll be like, the seats are gonna be real tight for him. Speaking of which, he's gonna lean and say, "Are there train snacks?"
Yeah, we do catering. I know that we have a standard meal per day.
What?
Rub some bacon on it.
Oh. Yes, but
yeah, I know.
Ah.
I mean, I know that that sometimes we have kind of twisted pretzels.
Are
Kind of
they?
pretzels? We do sweet buns. I know that.
Everyone's always saying they get stolen.
Well, they are in very high demand, so I would not be surprised.
And cheese wheels.
And I don't think we do cheese wheels anymore.
Is
That's
there
just kind of taking up a lot of space.
They're rebranded as fire resistance potions now.
He'll ask if there's meat, and he's looking him dead in the eyes, not blinking.
Are you trying to intimidate him?
Well, if he wants to be
Hey,
intimidated,
Dova, what's his passive intimidation score?
I mean, technically it'd be 10 plus his intimidation stat.
it'd be 11.
It'd be 11, so slightly more intimidating. I go ahead and add your proficiency to that, if you did not already.
Racial proficiency.
So that would be passive, would be 14 then.
All right. He's kind of leaning back in his chair a bit as he says, yeah. I know that there's like cured meats and sausages and jerky, and I know on some of the trains, especially the ones with like first class, that they do like freshly done meals. I'm sorry, am I missing the element, the essence of the question?
No, you just mentioned finger snacks. And he says it in a way that may or may not mean what he thinks it
Like,
means.
he's not doing it on purpose, but
Yeah.
Right. Are you guys gonna buy a ticket at all, or?
Oh, with finger snacks on the line, I am.
Dusty's just wondering if he should prepare one beforehand, and is like
He's just staring at you.
eyeing the crowd.
He
What's
kind of looks over to the girl who's in the ticket booth next to him, who's currently dealing with a different customer. Just kind of looks over at her and looks back to you. So,
Hey, Dova.
what class would you like?
Luggage.
Steerage.
Steerage, you mean?
Steerage.
Okay.
He still says luggage.
Had to be 21 Gallifars and 5 Sovereigns.
Okay, before did we all agree to go on this thing? Boy, I forked this down.
Not really. It's like just you and Dusty.
Anu's not even there.
Yark is there.
Yark's gonna pat him on his arm and say, "We didn't talk to the others about this yet."
Ooh. We'll be back.
Sinnel is there. He's currently deciding and figuring out if the rest of you are going to be going or not.
Yark's gonna say thank you and toss him a sovereign as we go tell the others. He's gonna mouth the word "sorry."
He's gonna look at it and he looks like he's about to say, sorry you dropped this, for just kind of
He-
rolling his eyes, shrugging, and pocketing it.
He said it. He said sorry.
He was about to.
You say sorry.
If you settle down, okay?
What's he sorry about?
He settled down. I already said about.
I know. Okay, we go tell the others.
Okay, yeah, let's fucking.
Yeah, we'll go rendezvous.
All right. You eventually do meet back up, in the market square. It's calming down quite a bit as the shops are slowly closing down for the night.
Alright, guys. So like it's either now or a week.
We don't have much time to decide.
Let's do
Let's
it
just-
now.
Let's just go now.
We can always come back here. We'll be more.
Yeah, what's
proper.
here anyway?
Let's.
Already
go
done
ahead and
everything
go.
here.
All right, let's go. How much was
Let's
it
go.
for the middle class?
Middle
42.
class is 42.
Oh, you don't want to sit in the luggage with the rest of us, or just
Nah.
me?
I'm gonna tap Ozarth and say you
Not
don't
for
want to
2
go in
days.
middle class.
He'll pack your. I am not financially stable for a higher class.
Dusty says, "I'm penny pinching for my dream. Penny pinching for my dream." Penny pinching for my
I'll just punch that
dude.
thumb down.
Your mic's doing that echo thing again.
We have got to get him a new mic.
I don't know how it's even doing that.
I don't know either.
Anyways, go ahead and subtract the money for whatever ticket that you decide to buy.
Siddle's gonna
Yeah,
ask in.
So
instead,
Go ahead.
Siddle's gonna ask, do they have cabins that we could
not
purchase?
on this next one, no, sadly.
Okay.
Most of it is kind of steerage class because that's what all the soldiers are coming in on. But I know some of the trains have a kind of first class, but the standard class on this is kind of shared cabins. Looks like there's 8 capacity for each one. So I mean, depending on who's going to be going back along that way, you might have a cabin all to yourself. Who knows?
You're just gonna have a dramatic moment with the news and say, "They don't have first class on this train." Is right here.
And how much for And DeSoto would be another ticket, right?
Yeah, DeSoto would be another ticket. But I think I can
Fudge.
probably offer you a discount if you want to put him in the luggage.
No, he's not going away from me.
All right.
I just got
Yeah,
him
that
back.
would be another ticket. Where's Blue, by the way?
Luggage.
Is he inside the bag of holding yet?
Yeah. How much does he weigh,
Yeah.
Dova?
He weighs. Let me open his character sheet. I don't believe he weighs as much as you'd expect. He weighs 200. We'll just put that down. 200 clean.
Okay. That's actually nearing the limit of my bag of holding, but not there yet.
Oh wow. All right, so you guys now have your tickets. Steerage class is 21 Galifars and 5 Sovereigns, and then the standard class is 42 Galifars.
We doing wait. I think Ray is muted. I don't know if he's AFK or just muted.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is.
Hi.
You didn't react. You didn't say anything when I said that they didn't have a first class.
Oh, I did. Just turns out I was muted.
What'd you say?
Noon was very upset.
I was very upset too. But we doing a standard class together.
He's gonna talk to the person and ask if there isn't just one first class spot anywhere.
No, I can't see that there is on this next one.
Is there any possibility of upgrades if one of them doesn't show up?
I mean, if one of them doesn't show up, then I suppose. But really depends on the train that actually does come. But I have heard that the cars that are coming in, that they have pretty good standard class. Like they have cushions on the seats and everything.
No, but I ride first class.
I mean, I'm not sure what to say to you. I think that there's a carriage
"Yeah, I
service
can
that
put you
goes
in
along
first
the road,
class."
like a
what
sleigh
you say.
service.
Simple. You can have first class.
What? Sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah.
I don't know where this
We're-
conversation is going anymore. Yeah, I'm not sure what I can say to that. There's really no first class coming in.
And then buy your ticket. We're running out of time.
As the train,
fine,
as the with a
whatever's-
flurry of snow, as the lightning rail kind of crackles, as it gets closer and closer, passing along the platform.
I'll get whatever's the best available.
All right, that'd be the common class, and I'm sure I can throw in a bunch of catering coupons.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that rounds up to about 50 Galifars.
I thought it was 42.
Well, yeah, but with the catering coupons,
I'm gonna throw them in. I'm
Oh,
buying
I
them
mean-
at this point.
it's like a dining plan. Like you just buy in and you don't have to pay. It's like an all-you-can-eat situation with the pass.
I'll do that too.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. As he passes you both tickets and a dining pass.
That's 8 extra, right?
Yep, 8 extra.
Absolutely worth it.
All right. The lightning bolts of the guide stone from the rail it seemed to just repel all the snow that's been drifting up near the pylons in the time that the rail has been not here really. And it slowly comes to a halt. The doors kind of crank open as the car attendants manually open them, as quite a few soldiers in various states of uniform file out. A rather well-decorated looking man shouting out orders through a megaphone, basically guiding them where to go. And eventually they all file out. Some cleaning attendants head in for a few minutes, and then the conductor begins to usher you guys in. I think we could probably end the session here, because it's getting late.
Oh yeah, we did start an hour late.
Yep.
He walks in. Zerk walks into the train, just smoking a cigar. Oh, I can't wait to see what this has in store for us.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna
It's
That's
gonna be really, you're
Doesn't have first
climbing
class
into
though.
common class.
As we all
It's just
file
a death sentence.
as we all file in, like we all have our own quip about the train.
All right,
Dusty
everyone.
steps in. Who wants to talk about murder?
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. We will be back next week with more of that. I'll be back tomorrow with Tales of Miraleth Dungeons and Dragons. I hope to see you all here for that. And check out our website.
For that. Oh my god.
Check our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, all those good things. And do consider becoming a patron to keep these streams coming. It's patreon.com/ZGFgaming. Thank you, and I bid you all a very fond adieu.
Goodbye.
All right, so discount
Bye.
Mickey first. No.
always goes last and it ends the stream.
No, we got to do discount Mickey first, then Mickey.
What the hell's discount Mickey?
I am.
How are you discount Mickey?
Because you weren't here.
Come on, discount Mickey.
I will not have any posers trying to beat my space.
All right, Mickey,
I'll
you're
smash
being
your
awfully
face.
violent.
It's called an understudy, Mickey. Look it up.
Hush you. Dova, I'm in control here.
That's it. I'm calling a parole officer.
No,
He needs one.
I just got off. Oh,
I can't go
The
back.
problem is he really did.